So, a new Dragon Ball anime got announced not too long ago, Dragon Ball Daima. I wanted to talk about it when it was first announced, but everyone was talking about it and every video I saw was kind of the same. Everyone was just trashing on it, so I decided to sit back and wait to see if any new info would come out. Basically, I let the opinions simmer in the pot that is my beautiful brain, and now we're going to talk about it. So at, I think, a Comic-Con, Dragon Ball had its own spot for a massive announcement, and everyone was expecting it to be a sequel to Dragon Ball Super because it's been like 6 years since that ended. Yeah, we got to see the Broly and superhero movies, which I really enjoyed, but a lot of people, myself included, wanted to see those later arcs of the story be animated. Like the Moro arc, which I had a lot of fun with, and the Granola arc, which I forgot to finish. So when the Dragon Ball announcement started, everyone was excited. We're shown a really cool edited video on Dragon Ball's history from its first volume, first adaptation, all the way to the new stuff like Dragon Ball Super Superhero. And now everyone is hyped, everyone's ready to see Moro. We're all ready to see the next big bad of Dragon Ball Super. And we get... not that, no. We get a series where the main cast of Dragon Ball are somehow reverted into children by some new villains or something. I don't think anybody expected this to happen for Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary. Also, Krillin looks exactly the same as when he was an adult, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's safe to say that a lot of fans got upset at this. Everyone instantly started calling it the new Dragon Ball GT, or that it looked really bad, all that kind of stuff. People were just instantly insulting and clowning on this, and I won't lie, I was a little disappointed as well. I was really excited for the next batch of Dragon Ball Super, and that is not what we got. Not even close. But hear me out. I don't think we should all trash on this show before it's even released, and here are my reasons why. The first big thing is that Akira Toriyama, the creator of the series himself, wrote this original story and made all the character designs. Now, Toriyama usually does help out with some production, but not to this extent, according to my knowledge. Like for Super, all he really did was give basic story outlines and a few character designs, and that's what he did for GT as well. But for Daima, it seems like Toriyama is really working with Toei Animation and putting his heart and soul into this. And the last time we had a Dragon Ball project where Toriyama had, like, direct involvement in it was Dragon Ball Super Broly and Superhero, which in my opinion were both super great and fun. The next thing I want to talk about is the staff. Apparently the production staff got leaked by a super popular leaker who is usually known for being right, and my god, it is stacked. I gotta talk about this because they really got the damn Dragon Ball Avengers for the animation of this project. First up is Chikashi Kubota, an insanely talented animator and one of my personal favorites. He did that little opening sequence that quickly shows the Dragon Ball story and explains the Red Ribbon Army. It looked great and really resembled the OG art styles but with modern animation, and I think everyone can agree that this looked amazing. Now Hiro Shintani, God, are you listening? Thank you. Shintani was the animation supervisor and character designer for the Broly movie, and do I really need to explain why this is amazing? I mean, come on, just look at the Broly movie. Yuya Takahashi, best known for being a key animator on Resurrection F, the Broly movie, and a few episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I am a massive fan of his character art and his shading and all that stuff. I just love the way it looks. I love the way he draws characters. Takeo Ide, in my opinion, an absolute legend when it comes to older Dragon Ball animation. This guy's been a key animator for like every single Dragon Ball movie, around 20 episodes of the original series, I think, 33 episodes of Z, directed the animation for 6 GT episodes and Battle of Gods, and was a chief animator for 50 DBS episodes. And finally, Miyako Tsuji, who's known for working as a key animator for Resurrection F, the Broly movie, and was an animation director for a few episodes of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Now, sadly, there was no Kudai Watanabe, Yuichi Karasawa, or my goat Naotoshi Shida, which are all animators that I absolutely love, but hey, I shouldn't be complaining because the current lineup for Daima's staff is beautiful. And that's just the animators. I haven't even mentioned the directors and, all the other staff that got leaked. And now on to my final point / thing I want to talk about. Everyone's main issue about Daima so far seems to be that it's not what fans want. A lot of people are saying that we're here to see buff aliens yell, power up, and launch huge energy blasts, not to watch the main cast get reverted into babies with this goofy looking plot, because that's not what Dragon Ball is. And I've seen a few people credit Legends, A Dragon Ball Tale, and Dragon Ball Deliverance when it comes to this complaint. And to some extent, I can understand this. I love watching the cast power up and fight just as much as the next guy, but one thing I feel like many people forget is Dragon Ball is more than just fights. Sure, it's a big part of it, and the fights are great on their own, but it's the comedy and the drama and the story around it that makes those fights even more impactful and enjoyable. Dragon Ball at the end of the day is a story with a world with depth. It's not just one long fight. So I also think that the comparisons to Legends, Deliverance, Dragon Ball Multiverse, and more are really stupid. Don't get me wrong, I love them all. I mean, I grew up reading the Dragon Ball Multiverse fan manga for those fights. And Legends and Deliverance are some of the best and coolest looking Dragon Ball fan projects ever created. But they're not Dragon Ball. They turned Dragon Ball into a kids show. They're all babies now, They were kids in the original series too. Who cares? Just because the characters are magically turning back into kids doesn't mean the story won't be serious or intense. This doesn't mean we're going to be getting Muppet Babies but Dragon Ball. Also, many people have been complaining for years about modern Dragon Ball's story and how its power scaling and stuff is just getting higher and higher, with fights being more grand, but the stories being less grounded. So how can you look at Daima, a new story, a new opportunity for an awesome story, and just trash on it? I mean, they're literally bringing back the Nyoibo from the original series. This could mean that Daima's fights and stuff may focus more on martial arts like in the past, and there even seems to be a hint of magic, which was a big part of the original series as well. That is hype. Dragon Ball Daima, to me, seems to have an insane amount of potential for a fun new story with fun new characters, and some dang good animation. But maybe you simply don't like the way Daima looks, and that is completely fine. I don't think turning the cast into kids looks very cool, especially Goten and Trunks, because Toriyama will never let us see them age. But I don't think everyone being kids is gonna ruin anything or take away from the intensity of a story. From what we saw in the reveal trailer, the series is gonna look fantastic in terms of design and animation, and the small clips of fights already show us some sick and fluid looking choreography, so I'm excited. This series may just be what fans have been secretly wanting for years without even knowing it. Or it could be absolute garbage. Who knows? What I do know though is that Daima's got potential to be something really fun, and though I would have preferred the Moro arc, this looks cool, and somewhat reminiscent to what Dragon Ball started off as. We've got the original creator himself writing the story, overseeing storyboards, and so much more, so I think we should just let Toriyama and Toei Animation cook, because with all of this cool info, I'm personally really excited, and I have hope for Dragon Ball Daima. But that's the end of the video. If you have any thoughts on Daima, please put it in the comments below, since I love hearing my viewers' opinions. But that's it from me, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
It ain't hard to tell, I excel, then prevail. The rank is contacted, I attract clientele. My mic check is life or death, breathing a sniper's breath. I exhale the yellow smoke, a Buddha